That's what I want to say actually. Yes. So we go here and we import after you install this library. So import Axios from Axios. Great. So now we'll write that function. Search photo. And inside this function we will write our Axios code. So Axios dot get. And before I write the full function, let's go back to the documentation. And I will scroll down. We'll see here many things. That even these libraries that we can implement into PHP, Ruby, JavaScript, iOS, Android. So you can visit any of these. It is on GitHub. You can implement it in your code. But I'm going with some simple approach. So the schema, the entry point or the end point, I mean, for this API, it is this URL. This is the base URL for our API that we will be calling. We will come to that again. And this is the HTTP verbs that you can use against this API. But what I'm going to use actually, it is get. This is just. So good. So here we made Axios and we specify get. And then it is a function. So we'll pass to it first thing. This. Or I'll get it more precise, to be more precise. I'll get it from here because our application is based on search photos. So I'll choose this section and we'll see that we must add Unsplash first and then add this portion to it. So we can get it from here. Also, before I go and write the function, we must know that the query, like in our case it is the search term, as here, the description, it is just we must provide it in order to get the response. And as you notice, everything else is optional. So we don't need to supply it. So here we take this, the API, and search photos, because as we said here, get this verb and search photos attached to the API link. So we take from HTTPS until photos and this question mark. Let's go back and paste this here. And we're going to provide also something, our key. Let's go to my apps gallery. Then I'm going to take that first key, copy it, and go back here and provide it as an argument. So make question mark to add argument. I'll write client ID, and I'll say later why I write client ID here, equal to, then I'll paste that number. But I got there. Great. And this function takes object as a second argument. So in this object that I'm going to send, wait, I'll just clean the code a little bit. So in this object, I'm going to send params as for parameters, params, and we'll send this, we'll send query because we must provide it for the API. Query, and it will be equal to this dot state dot term, the term that we captured from the user. This state dot term. Perfect. And after that, we're going to return some response. Let me check it again. So access get, yes, we provided our key, and params we need query state dot term. That's so nice. Now, after we send this call or this request to the API, we get response. So let's try to check what response we get back. So response, and then it takes callback function. So what I'll do now actually is to console log what we get back. Response. Let's go and check it out. The app, it search about mountain, and then enter. Here, if we see that we got some array of data, I mean object data, which contains many objects as a convict data, headers, and request. But what I'm concerned about actually is this object data, that it contains the packages that we get back from the API. So we get here 10 packages, as they say in the API, that you can take, or you can fetch up to 10 packages. So that's actually nice. Let me try to access something like we have data here and results. So response dot data dot results, and then what we need 0, and then our description. Okay, result and 0 and alt dot alt description. Let's save. Let's go back. Mountain again, or phone. Let's hit search. So what we get here? Silver iPhone floating over open palm. So we get the description. In the next episode, we will do more with the app. We'll get these things as we saw on the final product, on the final project. So we will output the things on the screen. We'll save things to the states like this description and many other properties. We'll save it in the state, and then we'll output it to the user.